look at me, center of attention. But the new evolved energy of this kind of Leo season is you walk into a room and you're so authentic and grounded in yourself. Your light just shines and there is no need to look at me. The energy is already there. Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Louise. I'm an intuitive, a reader of the cosmic weather, and I show up here every week to share with you my intuitive take on what's happening, so what energy is going to be around and how we can best navigate ourselves through the week. So, the current cosmic weather, as you're hearing everywhere, my beautiful friends, is pretty hectic. The astrology for July is really powerful, and everywhere that you go, if this is an interest for you, which if you're here, I would say it is, you're going to hear July, you're going to hear a lot about the basket alignment and all these kind of big things that are happening in our skies. And I tune into the energy. So how does it feel and how's it going to affect us? And what I can tell you is what I've been telling you for the last few months is that this is a really powerful year. Yes, I have been saying that for a couple of years, and that's because we are in really transformational, powerful times. Like, we, my friends, have chosen to come here at a time where there's immense transformation. Like, we're not back in the time where, you know, we skipped around down the street in our little white socks and black patent shoes to our friends and made a, you know, cherry pie and skipped home again. Like, we are not living in those times. We are living in times of, you know, huge evolution and expansion and transformation. And yeah, you, like me, signed up to be here. And I feel like there's a part of us that is like, what am I even doing here? Who am I? Because at the moment, like, if you're questioning that, at the moment, because of all of this energy that's kind of pushing and changing, there's this kind of releasing and letting go of some really old, deep layers. And it can create lots of questioning as we evolve and shift and change. And yeah, sometimes that can feel a little bit confusing, like, what is even going on here? Like, look at this world. Duh, duh. And my advice to you is to just bring it back to self. Yes, we signed up to be here, to come into the school of life for our healing, for healing this planet at this time, because we are powerful warriors and we have what it takes to shine some light down here. Yeah, kind of end of. Like, you can switch off now if you want. That's kind of it. But how that may feel at times can feel a little bit, I mean, it can feel amazing and joyful and powerful and, yeah, as I said, confusing. Yeah. And July is like, it's this another layer of all of this. So when the planets kind of come together and move all out in different ways, the frequency and the energy that's created affects us on Earth, right? Because we're on a planet here. And at the moment, there's outer planets which have a deep impact on us, like deep. Yeah, the closer, this is my feel and my read. And I'm an intuitive astrologer, okay? So the closer the planets are, the more it's kind of, it's not superficial, because that's not the truth, but it kind of affects us more in cycles and it's more frequent. As we move out, the further the planets away are, the kind of deeper effect, the kind of soul level effect they have on us. And there's a lot of outer planet movement. And if we go back, right, to COVID times, those outer planets and their alignments with their alignments were all kind of in a real negative aspect, all kind of like bunched up over here, and that's what created that really kind of negative, like insular, shut down kind of time. And now they've moved, obviously, and now they're in this kind of really light transformational aspect. And you may hear people talking about the basket and the pattern that is there at the moment, and that's why July is so powerful. And what I see and what I feel is that with this incredible alignment in the sky, it's given us these great insights and opportunity to really like be so aware with action of kind of where we're going and who we need to be, and and understanding that the new part of us like has super outdated the old beliefs and the old behaviors, and we're in this kind of like, well, yeah, that doesn't work for me. Like, who am I going forward? How do I need to behave? Like, what is the new? How do I create new? And it's about really showing up differently, differently to how you've done it in the past. Because I feel like it's a whole different world, like a different frequency that's coming in. It's a whole different world. And no, you're not going to wake up on Monday and go, oh, the world changed. No, it's not like that. But it's like new frequency, new energy, change coming in. And we know it's changing, but it's kind of like we're on this kind of like a kind of cliff edge at the moment. And I feel like we're going to take a real leap of faith if we're not already doing that, and understand and realize that we have wings. The beautiful universe has given us these incredible wings to fly, and we didn't even know they were there because we were so bound in old ways and fear and conditioning, and we're kind of been letting go of that. So we may feel like we're on the kind of edge of the cliff, but we're like, oh God, this is new. How do I do this? And soon our kind of beautiful wings are going to open up. So I see that the new ways and the new world, like the old world was very much built on what had been done before. It was kind of following old patterns, and the new way that we're going is built upon those brave enough to be new, to think new things. Yeah, I could go really deep on it this week. I probably just have, but yeah, it's an incredible time. The shifting and the newness, like you're probably feeling it. And how I described it in our weekly written was it's like your soul's standing in a room that it's completely outgrown. Yeah. And it's like, get me out of here. Like, this isn't it anymore. And it might have been it until maybe yesterday, but then it's not. And yeah, as you're going through this change and this, this new kind of ness that's coming in, and letting go of the old beliefs and the patterns and the programs, it's really important that we stay grounded and we stay grounded and we stay grounded. Yeah. So barefoot on the grass, hug a tree if you need to, but really kind of do your grounding practices, because the energy is a bit here, We need to just stay centered and stay grounded so that we can walk, like this and not be all over the place. What's happening specifically this week is we've got all of that, all of those big alignments in those, outer planets, and creating that, time of what we're calling, incredible expansion and revelations, and, the time to plant seeds and think about where you're going and think about what you want, and, really open up to your full potential. So that's all massively going. And we're also, Mercury's coming out of that retrograde. So you may have kind of had to look back on some old stuff this last few weeks. Maybe old patterns and old things have come up, not for you to go backwards, but for you to see things in a new way. Maybe have a conversation that you you know, you didn't have them that you needed to have. Maybe tie up some loose ends. So that kind of period of, you know, looking back is coming to an end, and we're going to be able to start getting some real forward momentum in lots of different areas. And we also walk into Leo season, and Leo season, you know, I feel is this time round most definitely is kind of doing it a little bit differently. So, you know, it's that beautiful inner confidence, and that it's not a look at me anymore in an old ego sense. It's like if you walk into a room, it's like, you know, the old unevolved Leo is that, you know, look at me, center of attention. But the new evolved energy of this kind of Leo season is you walk into a room and you're so authentic and grounded in yourself, your light just shines, and there is no need to look at me. The energy is already there. That makes sense. Yeah, there's such a shift in this kind of authenticity and light shining, that it's not a external anymore, it's coming internally. It's beautiful. So we go into Leo season where, you know, write the book. That was probably, I need to say that to me, I need to finish the book. You know, do what you need to do, have the courage, have that, you know, step out on the stage, on your stage of your life, and do what you need to do. Yeah. I have a few little things written down. We're also heading into eclipse season mid-August. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start to feel that. And it's a Leo eclipse. So that's where that beautiful shifting's really going to come in as well. What have I got written down? I put some notes up. I never do notes, but at the moment there's so much that comes through and so much that I want to share that sometimes I will. I've got try new things. Trust yourself. Yeah. Okay, there is another thing that I need to share with you, and that is I'm always learning. Like, yes, I share and I do the work that I do and I teach, but I believe as a teacher there is, and actually let's change that word from teacher to guide, as I'm guiding, that there is always more to learn, and this is the classroom of life, and I am here constantly looking and learning and growing with you, and that never stops for me. I'm always like, I want to know more, I want to learn more, and you know, I want to share, you know, everything that I find with you guys. And this week I really love something that I learn, and that is that, because I'm really interested in our whole nervous system, because there's so much talk around it, but personally I know how important it is for nervous system regulation and to look after this nervous system. So, you know, I talk about, you know, the techniques that we can calm this nervous system, you know, legs up the wall, closing the eyes, you know, warm, stillness, all the things that the nervous system needs to be calm, you know, tones, what else are really good ones? I mean, just those. So I'm always looking. And this week I learned that where our moon sits is what our nervous system truly needs for regulation. And it was a real eye-opener, because not everyone's going to need the same thing. There is that general, you know, put your legs up the wall and, you know, close down your eyes and take a deep breath and, you know, massage to your vagus nerve. You know, there's all of those things, 100%, that are going to help everyone. But specifically to your moon sign is what's going to soothe you emotionally, which is our nervous system, the most. And, you know, whether your moon's in air, fire, water, you're going to need different things. And this, to me, this week was just like so cool. So my moon is in Virgo. So to calm my nervous system, and it's so true, I need to have order and routine, and, you know, that I need clarity. And if I have that, I can calm. If I come in and I'm a little bit, you know, my nervous system's a little bit all over and there's mess everywhere and there's chaos, my little nervous system can't cope. Emotionally, I become really dysregulated. You know, so if you're a fire moon, you know, you need to release energy. You need to be, you know, go for a run and like release energy. So I'm going to write these down on the written, and I will attach to this forecast, you know. So I really advise, that's your homework this week, guys. Look up and see where your moon sits and see what you need to specifically do to regulate your nervous system, and see, like, you know, see if it works for you, see if it feels right for you. And I know it will. Yeah. And that's the wonderful gift that I believe that, you know, this, our soul map and our, you know, birth map gives us all these incredible clues, and all these, not even clues, but like it's all written there for us to learn about ourselves, so that we can be here, you know, with a soul purpose, you know, knowing what our gifts are, knowing where we're going. Yeah, it's like, I think if we really sank into our center and remembered truly, you know, and got back in touch with the universe and where we are in this planetary system, it'd probably be a bit easier. But we've become so disconnected. So disconnected. Yeah. We're always looking for external validation, not in the ways that it's right there for us. Yeah? There's an incredible map. There's an incredible system within us. Anyway, it's a big month. I'm going to ramble a lot at the moment because it's a big month and I've got a lot to say to you. So, yeah. What do I need to tell you? I'm back doing private sessions. And I will be back moving soon, dancing, moving, releasing, somatic movement, freedom. So for those of you that love that, it's coming back. I just was away overseas and it's taken me a little bit to just come back into alignment. But it's brewing and we need it, right? So keep an eye out. Have an amazing week and I love you all.